All right, it's the boxing show, coolest boxing podcast online. Let's talk about Devin Haney versus George Kambosos Jr. Obviously, Devin Haney won a unanimous decision, scores of 118, 110, and then two 116, 112 scores. I feel like the 116, 112 is too close. George Kambosos did not win 4 rounds, but whatever, the right man won. Let's start with the winner. Let's start with Devin Haney, who is now the undisputed light heavyweight champion. What I appreciate the most about what Devin Haney was able to do in his game is that he stayed focused his focus kind of is like Floyd Mayweather-esque in that what separated Floyd from everyone else was his discipline and commitment to the game plan, and he stayed focused for every second of a 12-round fight. Devin Haney isn't quite there yet, but if he keeps it up and he continues to work on his focus and his mental aptitude, he's going to be damn hard to beat because he's not going to be in the ring with many people, if anyone, that is as athletic and as physically gifted as he is. I think I recall him doing some risky stuff from the outside, like a few lead right hands that were kind of too far out. Things like that are going to get him in trouble. We've seen him in trouble against like Linares and then whoever that other dude that he fought recently. We've seen him in some trouble. I can't remember the other guy's name, but but this fight, he really didn't move away from the game plan, if much at all. I mean, the jab, he was committed to the stick all night long. George Kambosos, I mean, that was a pathetic performance. Showing up in front of however many people it was in Australia, 40K, 50K, I don't know, and not having an answer for a jab is embarrassing. Like, what were you doing in camp? What have you been doing your whole life? Like, you don't know how to stop a jab. I mean, I get it. Some guys have better jabs than others, and some guys, they're just too quick. But you didn't have anything. Like, you should have known what Devin Haney's game plan was going to be, and you should have had an answer for it. You didn't have an answer. You didn't have an adjustment. There was nothing. There was absolutely nothing there, and that was embarrassing. To have the Australians come out the way they did and show up for you, and you to put up a pathetic performance like that, not even being able to stop a jab is just, it's inexcusable. Some people might be thinking, oh, well, you stop the jab then, Brandon. I'm not a professional fighter, but if I was and I was training for 3 months for a fight, I would at least have some sort of an answer for a jab. I would at least have a game plan. Maybe I would have more respect if you had a game plan to stop the jab, but there wasn't even that. So, how do you beat a jab? You beat a jab with foot movement. If you have fast feet and you can come in and bounce around and come in at angles, you can stop a jab. You stop a jab with your own jab. You can stop a jab coming in under with some head movement. You can bait the jab out, feint, and counter over it. I mean, there are different things you can do, but George Kambosos didn't do any of them. And a lot of it is because he's really just not a good fighter. He doesn't have very much athleticism. He doesn't have much skill. I mean, he beat Teofimo Lopez on... Teo had a very bad night, let's be honest. He can't beat Teo again. He would never beat him again. And he landed that one right hand shot in the beginning of their fight, and that kind of just told the story for the whole fight. And now Kambosos is relevant in boxing because of that upset, but he's just not a good fighter. He did say he knew what was coming because he worked a rematch into the contract, and he's talking like he wants to activate the rematch. But it's like, why? Like, you just got your face jabbed off. What are you going to do differently this time? Probably nothing. It'll probably be a worse beating than it was the first time. So that's my take on the fight, really. So that's all there is. We'll see how this develops in the future. But congrats to Devin Haney, undisputed lightweight champion. I'll catch you guys next time.